Assalamu alaikum. My name is Maimuna Ijaz and roll number 49. My group members are Mahnoor Anwar and Kurutulan. The topics of presentation are IO software layers, device drivers, interrupt handling. The topics of my presentation are user level libraries, kernel level modules, and hardware. First we see user level libraries. This provides simple interface to the user program to perform input-output. What is interface? Interface means a point or program enabling a user to communicate or interact with the system. Second is, what is user program? As you people know about user program is a program that must communicate with resource manager for some or all of its processing. Now you can clearly understand, for example, stdio is a library provided by C and C++ programming. Second is kernel level module. What is kernel? The kernel is a computer program at the core of a computer operating system with complete control over everything in the system. You can say that kernel is a part of CPU. Kernel is backbone of CPU. Now kernel level module provide device driver to interact with the device controller and device independent IO modules used by device drivers. Kernel level modules are handled by the operating system directly but managed by kernel. So we can see what is device driver? A device driver or hardware driver is a group of files that enable one or more hardware devices to communicate with computer's operating system. And without driver, the computer would not be able to send or receive data correctly to the hardware devices such as printer. Now you can see diagram. Without device drivers, system cannot interact with the hardware correctly, and similar with the hardware. Without device drivers, system and hardware both are not interact with each other. So second is device controller. A device controller is a system that handles the incoming and outgoing signals of the CPU. Incoming and outgoing means receive or send data. Device controllers use binary and digital cores. An IO device contains mechanical and electrical parts. A device controller is the electrical part of the IO device. Now you can see the diagram. CPU send or receive data to DMA, and DMA then send data to device controller, and then device controller send data to the USB drive, disk, printer. These are the hardwares to the hardwares. Similar with the hardwares, hardware send data to device controller and then DMA send to CPU. DMA stand for direct memory access. Now what is hardware? This layer includes actual hardware. Actual hardware means physical parts of the computer such as memory modules. So this layer includes actual hardware and hardware controller which interact with the drives and make hardware alive. We know now what is hardware controller and device drivers. Now the last is device independent. IO software, it should be device independent. What does it mean? What is device independence? It means device independence is the process of making a software application that can access any IO device without having to specify the device in advance. It means without changing the program, you can perform functionality on different IO devices. For example, a program which reads a file as input must be able to read a file on floppy disk, on a CD-ROM, or on a hard disk without having to vary the program, without having to change the program for each different device. So here is a diagram. You can see USB drive, disk and printer, these are hardwares connected with device controller. Device controller are hardwares and device drivers are software. There are two types of device drivers. First is kernel device drivers and second is user device drivers. So here is kernel device drivers. The main purpose of device controller and device drivers communicate devices with system. That's all from me. Now I would like to call Mahnoor for further explain.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mahnoor Anwar, roll number 17. I will explain device drivers. What are device drivers? Device drivers are software modules that can be plugged into an operating system to handle a particular device. It is basically a computer program that allows higher-level computer programs to interact with hardware devices, like input-output devices. Why we use device drivers? Device drivers simplifies programming by acting as an abstraction layer between hardware device and operating system that use it. It hides the device-dependent code and shows the interface that contains device-specific registers. Right. Next, I will explain jobs of device drivers. First job is to accept the request. It accepts the request from the device-independent software. Second is to interact with device controller. Device drivers interact with device controller to take some input and give some output and perform error handling, if required, if there is any error. The third job is of request execution. It makes sure that the request is executed successfully. Next, I will explain how device driver handles request. For example, let's suppose when a request comes to read a block A, if the driver do not have any other request, when the block A request arrived, then it will immediately start carrying out the request of block A. If the driver is already busy having block B, it will place the new request of block A in the queue of pending requests. Now, if we talk about a device driver named Linux E1000 driver, it leaves the hardware interrupts for incoming packets, disabled as long as there are queued received packets that have not been processed. The device interrupt is only re-enabled when the server thread has polled. The device-driven workload of the E1000 driver can be viewed as two device-driven tasks. First is input processing and the second one is output processing. In input processing, it includes dequeuing packets that the device has previously received and copied directly into the system memory. And in output processing, it includes dequeuing packets already sent and the inqueuing of more packets to send. Next, I will explain applications, as many parts of computer need drivers. And common examples are computer printers, graphic cards, modems, network cards, sound cards. Some other computer parts do not need drivers, or the driver is built into the operating system, because they use a kind of standard. The operating system recognizes those parts and knows how to use those parts. Such parts include items on the following list, like processors, RAM, CD, DVD, mouse, keyboard, PC speakers, floppy drives, hard drives, USB flash drives. There is also a compatibility issue. Different operating systems also need different drivers. A driver written in Mac operating system cannot be used by Microsoft Windows. Using the wrong device driver can prevent hardware from working correctly. For example, a HP printer will not work with a computer that only has a Canon printer driver. How to solve that issue? Keeping drivers up to date avoids potential problems when using programs with the new piece of hardware. Now, there is also a disadvantage of device driver in real time. Real-time systems need to guarantee that certain workloads can be completed within specified time constraints. How to overcome it? It is just a suggestion that every device driver interrupt must be handled in real time, like as and when the driver routine is called. Thank you. That is all from my side. Now I would like to call Kurutulan for the next topic.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Kuratul N and my roll number is 19. The topic of my presentation is interrupt handling. Let me first explain what are the interrupts. It is a mechanism by which module like input, output, or memory may interrupt the normal processing of the CPU. It is required to improve the processing efficiency of the CPU. There are some types of the interrupt. The first is program interrupt. It occurs when some instruction within the program creates a condition that leads to an interrupt. For example, dividing a number by 0, arithmetic overflow are the example of the program interrupt. The next is timer interrupt. It is generated by the timer present within the processor. For example, operating system set the timer to perform certain operation on a regular basis is time interrupt. The next is input-output interrupt. It is generated by the input-output devices while printing or any other task. Operation successful or error display are the example of the input-output interrupts. The next is hardware interrupt. It causes failure related to any hardware. Motherboard failure is an example of the hardware interrupt. Now I will explain you interrupt handler. In computer system programming, an interrupt handler, which is also known as the ISR, is a special block of code associated with a specific interrupt condition. It is a key function in real-time software and comprises interrupts and their handlers. Only those physical interrupts which are of high priority can be centered into the system interrupt table. The software assigns each interrupt to a handler in a handler table. Now, there arises a question how CPU handle these interrupts. There are some steps which are taken by the CPU to handle these interrupts. CPU is executing some tasks. User uses a keyboard to issue a high priority command. This issues an interrupt request to CPU. CPU suspends the current execution of the task. CPU executes the code, return to the handle this command. CPU resumes its previous execution. As we can see in this diagram, the CPU is performing the user program, and when it is performing the I task, it receives a interrupt and the control moves to the new code and perform the whole code, and the control returns back to the user program and perform the remaining code. There are some disadvantage and advantage of interrupt handling. The advantages are it increases the efficiency of the CPU, it decreases the waiting time of CPU, it stops the wastage of instruction cycle, it is fast and flexible. Disadvantage: it can be sticky. It can be tricky to write if using low-level language. It can be tough to get various pieces to work well together. This is all from us. Any question? Thank you.